Arabian fragrances have made it easy for me to have the collection that I deserve. It doesn't matter what name brand is tacked onto the side of our fragrance. I'm really just interested in the juice. Fragrances that smell incredible, that make me feel like magic. And Arabian fragrances allow me to do that at an affordable price while giving great quality. In 2023, I leaned in hard to Arabian fragrances, and at the end of the year, I picked up a bunch more. In today's video, I'm going to share the 6 new Lattafa fragrances I recently added to my collection, giving you a rundown of what they give, if they smell good, if they're worth your money, my money, anybody's money. If you like this kind of video, you're looking to save money with your own fragrance collection, stick around and let's have a conversation. Hi, I'm Jeanique, and when I say that these Arabian houses have me in a motherfucking chokehold, I meant that shit. From their original fragrances to their dupe fragrances, I get excited regardless. And today we're talking Lattafa fragrances because they gave so much in 2023 and they're continuing to give in 2024. I'm excited about the fragrances that I picked up, except for one. There's a dud in the bunch y'all need to know. On top of that, I didn't just get Lattafa fragrances. Of course I didn't. You know me already. I picked up shit from everybody, and the rest of the haul is coming following this video. So this video goes up on Wednesday, the next one will go up on Saturday, and I will go through all the other brands that I grabbed fragrances from. We got Rosassi in that video, Ard Al Zafran, Swiss Arabian, Codlage. They all show up in the next haul. We need to organize things, and so we're doing 6 now, 7 later. Come back for that one as well by subscribing. If you already subscribed, you're a real one, you're amazing, I love you, thank you so much. Now let's get into these Lattafa fragrances that some of these, y'all, Qahwa, I don't want to spoil it, but she is fucking magnificent. Now let's get into it. Let's start off with a pretty fragrance. It is Ansaam Gold from Lattafa. Now this one here is duping Parfums de Marly's Oriana. So y'all know that fragrance stays being expensive. It's like $400. And I had reviewed it for one of my Scent Expedition videos where I review samples and things. And the video, I said as much that like, it's nice, but for $400, I'm never going to buy it because even though I enjoy the fragrance, it gets cloying after a while of it being on your skin because it is so aggressively, did I say aggressively sweet? It's like cotton candy on steroids. It is a fucking lot. And it does not really ease up the longer it sits on your skin. It just stays going and going. And for some people, that's a good thing. For me, I found it to be just a little bit exhausting near the end of the fragrance, and I wanted something that sort of lifted and got lighter as the fragrance went on. Anyway, in that video, I also tested Reina from Maison Alhambra, which is also trying to dupe Oriana, and that one didn't have the complexity. It was just a sort of cotton candy-esque fragrance, and that was all. That was it. This gets a lot of the complexity of Oriana right. It is the kind of thing that sort of smells like being at a fair where there's all of this sweet, sugary baked goods and candy in the air, and it's all hitting you at once, all different levels and kinds of sweetness coming at you from all sides, and you can't get away from it. Yeah, that's Oriana, and that is this fragrance. However, why I enjoy this one over, say, picking up Oriana, except for the cost, because the cost is a major factor, is the fact that there are aspects of Oriana that head into this almost rotting direction, where it is so sweet, it smells like something is decaying. This does not do that. This is still not the kind of fragrance you're going to wear in the summertime. This is not the kind of fragrance you're going to even wear in the daytime. It is so over the top in the sort of sweetness and powderiness and the sort of cotton candy-esque kind of vibe it is giving. It feels like a nighttime fragrance when you're going out to play. When you're going out to the club, you're wearing Barbie pink. You know what? If this fragrance had a color, it would be Barbie pink. Next fragrance has grown on me more and more the more I've worn it, and it is Yara Tous. Now, y'all know, if you've watched my videos before, I stay hating on Yara 1, the pink bottle, because even though it's a fine fragrance and I do wear it to bed so it gets worn, I think it's nice enough to sleep in, not to leave the house in, because it's pretty fucking boring. This is a lot better. And the more I've worn this fragrance, the more I have come to enjoy it. So what does it smell like? Mango lassi. Have y'all had mango lassi? Like mango lassi with some cardamom. Right? It is mango, but not mango fruit. It's not tropical mango. It's not mango skin. It is a creamy mango drink. So taking the flesh of the mango, scooping it out, putting it in a blender with some coconut milk and some cardamom. That is what this fucking smells like. And I did not know I wanted to smell like mango lassi until I tried this fragrance. After about, I'd say like 2 hours of wearing this fragrance, it becomes something else almost entirely. It's thick, creamy orange blossom that is pretty sweet with a sort of almost suntan lotiony coconut. And that is what it ends off as, a very floral fragrance that is very heavy on the skin and has a nice coconut underbase to it. It is nice. But those first 2 hours where you're smelling like mango lassi with cardamom is so fire. Really enjoyed this one, and I did not see that coming just because I keep hating on Yara. And now I want to give Yara more of a chance because people say it smells like a pineapple upside down cake, and I want to believe that's true so I can get it and wear it. It's already in my cart. I almost don't care what this smells like because the bottle is so adorable. It is a fluffy pink, right? It is soft to the touch. You almost want to pet it, and there is gold. It is so adorable. I love this. Now, looking at the notes, I did not know what to expect. It's champagne, I think raspberry, rose, sandalwood, amber, chestnut, a whole bunch of shit. I think there's orchid in here. You know what this actually smells like? The notes don't tell the story of this fragrance. What it actually smells like is if you took Ariana Grande's Ari with all of that marshmallow, you mixed it with Viva La Juicy Gold with all of that caramel, and you put in a tubs of Sol de Janeiro with the nuttiness. That's what it smells like, basically. So my first impression of this fragrance when I tried it on paper, I did a TikTok video. You should follow me on fucking TikTok. Yeah. Anyway, when I first tried it, I was like, that's Ari from Ariana Grande. That's what they're duping, obviously, because it just smells like Ari from Ariana Grande. No, once I put it on skin and wore it for the whole day, I realized, oh, only the first hour or so is Ari from Ariana Grande. Then it becomes the caramelly floral that is Viva La Juicy Gold. Like, that's what it becomes with some of the marshmallowy aspect of Ari. Then as we continue, this chestnut sort of note comes through, that nuttiness that smells like it's a little bit roasting. There's like an air around the nuttiness, right? Like, you know when the peanut man is going down and he is roasting the peanuts as he's selling on the roadside? That sort of sweet, sugared, nutty smell that comes up, you get that in about the mid of the fragrance, and everything comes together to be incredibly happy and fun and alive. It feels very youthful and playful. It feels like it's not taking itself too seriously. As far as I know, there are 3 fragrances in the line with Haya. The other one is Sakina, and my order was canceled because they're like, we're out of stock, you can't have it. And now I'm a little heartbroken because all of the fragrances in that line are so good, and I have not tried Sakina. I will try to get it soon with the Yara Moy that I mentioned. Anyway, it's Emaan. It's in the vein of something like My Way. Like, literally, in the atomizer, it sort of smells like My Way. Hold on. Literally in front of me right now because I wore it today. I was wearing My Way today. They smell alike, right? On skin, though, it develops a little bit differently, but that's the vibe of this fragrance, is Armani My Way. Anyway, let's talk about this. This is a mostly tuberose, orange blossom, jasmine, marigold fragrance. I know it's a lot, but that's what it is. And it starts off citrusy, like with a bergamot, kind of fresh, bright, open, maybe a little bit of orange, a little bit sweet in that opening. And then we get the fullness of a lot of those very classic takes on white floral, not too sweet, very full, a little indolic, really creamy. It is lovely. There is some sandalwood in here and patchouli in the base to make this feel like it has a little bit more of an edge to it. And then as it develops, it gets sweeter and sweeter. There's some vanilla coming through near the end of the fragrance, like in the mid to the dry down. There is some vanilla coming through, making it feel just a little little bit cozier. But really what you're getting out of this fragrance is a very classic, refined, ladylike white floral fragrance that would be great for a Sunday brunch, to wear to church, to wear to the office. It plays well, it is pretty, it's not too aggressive. It is really, really, really nice. Now, did I, Jeanique, layer Haya with this? Of course I did, because I feel like they meant that to happen. Why put them in the same line otherwise? They're meant to go together. I wore them together. It was fun. It was like white florals with cotton candy together. How could that not be good? So Emaan is the good girl of the bunch and Haya is the party girl of the bunch. So what is Sakina? Now I'm thinking, is that the sexy one of the bunch? Does it have cherry? Does it have some ambergris? I don't fucking know. I need to know now because they're so good and so cheap. Hey, have you subscribed yet? You know you want to. You're having a good time over here. I am sharing a valuable perfumey information. So do it right now. Subscribe to me right now. I would appreciate it. You'd be awesome for doing so. Yeah. This next fragrance went viral. It's a much beloved Lattafa fragrance. Everybody talks about how safe a blind buy it is and how beautiful and lovely it is with all the coconut and vanilla it is giving. And I expected to fall head over heels with this one. But you know what happened? I wanted to chuck it. I wanted to throw it outside because I can't fucking stand it. I'm not saying it is trash, but basically. No, I don't want to hate on this fragrance because it could develop differently. It could get better for me. I am giving it time and space and I will revisit in a few months. But today, having given it a few days wear, I will say I did a rant over on TikTok. You should follow me. I did a rant over there and I am still ranting about it because I don't know how anybody can say this is a safe blind buy. You might say this is for me and I love it, but it is not, hear me, not a safe blind buy. Qaed al Fursan is a fucking challenge. Let's get into it. So first of all, the vanilla in here is thick. She is thick. It is heavy. And it has the texture of dessert vanilla without the sweetness. It's like an insipid vanilla because you're like, the texture is fooling me into thinking I'm getting a creamy vanilla dessert, but it is not sweet at all, right? Then we get into the coconut of it all. It's not coconut cream, it is coconut milk. Now think about what coconut milk actually smells like in a container. It is slightly earthy, maybe a little herbal. There is a lactonic smell to it. There is something a little saltiness. Sometimes it smells like a little like skin almost. That's the smell of coconut milk. Mix that in, right? But most of the atrocious work, maybe I'm being too judgmental, but most of that work that I find a little bit off-putting is being done by the yellow florals in this. Now, yellow florals can be made to smell like anything. Grapes, peaches, roses, the fuck. Banana is the most frequent expression from yellow florals. There's ylang ylang and frangipani in this. What do they smell like? They smell herbal, they smell a little bit green, they smell earthy, they smell even a little savory. You know what they smell like? They smell like the yellow florals in Oscar de la Renta's Volupté, a challenging yellow floral fragrance that smells summery, but because that fragrance is very texturally light, you can rock it in the summer and give earthy outsidey vibes. In this fragrance with that thick heaviness, it feels like it's suffocating you. It makes no sense. Now the notes say pineapple and citrus, vanilla, sandalwood, musk, and all of the yellow florals. What it does not say is this fragrance, boom, 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 is not sweet. This fragrance is more earthy. This fragrance is very herbal. This fragrance is a little bit savory, and the thickness can make it feel a little bit claustrophobic. Now, if you give me dessert vanilla, sweet vanilla, and all of that thickness, I can get into that shit. But if you're trying to give me earthy vibes with all of that heaviness, it just feels like way too much because there's no way for that fragrance to give cozy. You know what I mean? Anyway, I find this fragrance to be a little bit much. You know what it reminds me of though? It sort of reminds me of This Is Her by Zadig & Voltaire, which is a fragrance that I enjoy. However, that fragrance is sweeter and is texturally a lot lighter. It's as if they've taken that fragrance and said, fuck getting any kind of sweetness, and also let's thicken the fragrance to make it more wintry. And so it is a particular kind of composition for a particular kind of buyer. This is not a safe blind buy by any means. You see the notes, you expect coconut cream pie. That is not what you are getting. You are getting a herbal, earthy, slightly savory fragrance that is a thick as a motherfucker and wanting to choke you the fuck out. I am not saying I hate it, but basically we gotta end on a positive note, and that means there's only one place we can go from here, y'all, and that is Khamrah, Qahwa, the newbie on the block. And y'all, this fragrance, they did that shit. When I first tried this fragrance, I thought it's nice, it's pretty, I enjoy this, but it's no original. It's not the original Khamrah. But I've come to realize it is doing some things very different, but it is also giving. It is a fantastic fucking fragrance. No, the coffee in here is really coming through. However, it is not coffee as you might expect it. It is not espresso coffee feeling a little bit wet and really robust and dark. It sort of smells to me, to my nose, like roasting coffee. Like if you were to go into our roasters and they are heating up the coffee beans and you're smelling the coffee in the air being roasted, that is the coffee smell in here. It is a novel experience and it is really lovely. And it adds some really like darkness, dimension, some real interest to the fragrance that makes it feel like fire, y'all. Fire. Now, on top of all of that, they have all of these much sweeter elements like praline and dried fruit. So those really like dark, jammy, heavy fruit smells coming through, smelling like candy, but better, richer, caramelized. It is really, really nice. They have some warm spices, but I would say the spice that's coming through the heaviest in this is the ginger. Y'all know how I love ginger. The ginger in here from the opening to the dry down is really just adding a bit of pepperiness to this fragrance to make it feel really opulent, really refined, really interesting, really beautiful. I would say this fragrance skews slightly more feminine than the original Khamrah, which I think is perfectly unisex, but I think anybody can wear this and smell fucking fantastic. It is intensely, intensely sweet. It is warm smelling, and you would think that would get cloying, but somehow it doesn't. You just want to keep taking it in. It's just the richest, most opulent smelling fragrance. If you love something sweet and a little bit sticky and a little bit heavy, it is incredibly beautiful. And somehow they've created something that's very different from the original, but kind of the same. They've retained what we love about the original Khamrah while giving us something different. And I appreciate that. I was not expecting it to be as good as it is, but it is fire, y'all. Fucking fire. Now, I don't want to be a dick, I don't want to be an asshole, and buying fragrances and playing with perfume is a fun thing to do, but I need to just warn y'all sometimes if a fragrance is just not giving what most people are experiencing. At least it's not giving in that way for me, and Qaed al Fursan was just not giving in that way for me. I want to be an asshole, right? Lattafa does right by me most of the time. They did very right by me in this haul. So many of these fragrances are just my vibe, and I absolutely fucking love them. But that fragrance was not at all what I was expecting based on the multitude of reviews that I watched. And we all smell something different. Things smell differently on our skin. I totally get that. But I need there to be a counter narrative out there for y'all to know, honestly, truly, that this fragrance can be a bit of a shit show on your skin if you are not expecting a not sweet, savory, thick ass fragrance, right? Like, you need to know that's maybe what you're getting into. So I hope this is helpful to you if you're considering that fragrance. I'm not trying to take money out of Lattafa's pocket, but you need the money more than they do. So let's have a conversation about that. On top of that, if you enjoy this kind of video, you like this kind of honest conversation, check out my last video where I talk about BR540 dupes, because a bunch of Arabian fragrances are mentioned in that video, and I want to give y'all the tea because I'm trying a bunch of shit out here. Some of them won't go well for me, but I'm okay with that. I don't want y'all to be wasting your money though. Either way, I appreciate you being here because you could be anywhere on the internet right now. So thank you so much for showing up, for subscribing, for liking the video, for commenting. I appreciate you. Again, I'm Jeanique. I take the risk of blind buying these fragrances, knowing full well that some of them may not work for me, and occasionally I miss the motherfucking mark. It happens. I'm not salty about it. I'm gonna do my best to make it work, but I wanted to give y'all the tea just in case you were wondering, and I don't want y'all to waste y'all's money like I wasted mine. I will see you in the next video, which is another haul where most everything worked in that one. I'll see you then. I'll see you soon. Bye, y'all.
More of what I've been missing. We got time to act distant. You don't know what you're doing to me. Let me know how you feel. Make it time for ya. If it's real, we can build. Hold it down for ya. I can tell it's something.